So, hey, amazing parents, I need to say this. A lot of times, the biggest threat, actually, let me just ask a question as I start this is what is the biggest threats affecting many of our children today? What is the biggest threat affecting many of our children that we didn't grow up with? And that is social media and the internet. Yes, it's one of those threats that we are all worried about and genuinely, and actually, it's validating to be worried about it. I think for me, when I reflect on social media and the internet, I look at it as, okay, these are things that we're having to parent our children, navigate our parenting with our children. But guess what? We don't have templates because we didn't have social media and the internet and the phones in our generation, in our days when we were growing up. So now what are the tools that we can then use in teaching our children and getting our children to really understand the effects of overusing phones and social media? It's a whole new skill. It's a whole new skill set that we've got to learn. But what happens is a lot of times we are actually more afraid of social media because of the lack of tools that we have inherited to deal with it. And that's not any of our parents' fault. Social media wasn't there, so they didn't need to deal with that. So we didn't have a template. We are actually the first generation who's learning and parenting at the same time in to do with social media. So guess what? There's a lot of learning to do. But in learning, there's a lot of unlearning as well. And that's the key. I love this Alvin Toffler's quote that I always share that says that the illiterates of the 21st century, it won't be those who cannot read or write. No, it's going to be those who are unwilling to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I think for us as parents, or I know for us as parents, we've got to continuously be learning, unlearning, and relearning. And you're in the right place today, learning about how we can really talk to our children and help our children and support our children in this digital era. We all need to support them. They need our support more than anything. So what I want to do today is I'm going to share a few points, and I think I'm just going to share it as points and then just take you along with it. I think first of all, how you deal with and talk about social media to your children is going to be through your relationship. It's going to be through your connection. It's not about rules. I'm not saying you don't have rules. I'm just saying that it's going to be more through your relationship with them that they're going to then adhere to those rules. And I'm going to talk more. I'm going to be talking more and more on these concepts as I go along. So the first thing is your connection with your children. And yes, and I think for me, one of the other things, so that's the first thing is with your connection. And the way that I will explain how I did that with my kids who are now young adults is number one, I included myself in the learning process because this social media thing is a new thing for all of us. I included myself in the learning and in the process. I'll give you an example. One day I came back from work, straight I got into the house, right there in the corridor. Someone had sent a post. So I opened it up, started watching it. I was laughing. I was like, this is so funny. This. After that video, of course, more videos are coming up. You're scrolling. I was standing in that corridor for 45 good minutes. You know what I did? I went to my kids. Can't remember where they were in the house. I said, no way. Can you guys believe what just happened? I was literally standing by the door for 45 minutes watching TikTok. Oh my gosh, no way. That's too much. 45 minutes just gone like that. This is me expressing to my kids the struggle that I just had now with social media and being distracted. And guess what? What that tends to do with children is that they start to question their own selves, just the same way I questioned myself in front of them. That's the same way they would question themselves, like, oh my God, no, that's 10 minutes. Oh, an hour on social media, that's too much. So what I got from that was that I was telling them, I said, you know what? That was just too long. It wasn't a planned time. Social media, I'd like to give myself planned time for social media. Like I would say that in the mornings, I don't go into social media. I start anytime from 12, I can nip into social media, or let me say visit social media. So I use these terminologies because I am learning as well, self-control in social media. I am learning best practices in social media and I'm bringing my children along. So share with them your own struggles. Share with them how you spend all hours on WhatsApp and share with them. It will help them to see their own gaps as well. Like, oh, mom was just saying that. Oh, dad was just saying that. I'm seeing myself doing that. I need to do what he said. I need to do what she said. Did you see my point? So be that example is the key in what I'm sharing here. Be that example to your children in how to manage social media. And so that they see that you as well, that you are learning as well. Because I said at the beginning, this is a new skill for all of us. So we need to be kind to ourselves and we need to know that we had no templates. We had no role models. So we are going to be the templates and the role models for our children. And even if you fail so many times, just know that you are learning. I think that's the real key that I want to get to all of us as parents. And yes, the other part that I wanted to share is that yes, social media is powerful. And I think one of the things about social media that is very important for us to know is that social media is designed to keep our children's attention. I even question it sometimes. Why are these apps always telling me, oh, sign up for notification? I don't want notifications on my phone because notifications are distracting. I don't want to hear the noise that the sound that someone has just posted or someone has just shared. I don't want to hear it. And so I share my thoughts to my children. I said, notifications, they distract. They're very distracting. I want to go to social media when I plan to go to social media, not just because something has just clink, a sound has happened, then I just jump in and get distracted from what I'm doing. So again, this is the kind of stuff that we need to talk to our children about. And so for me, that's how I helped. That's how we talked about social media, and we talked about it in such a non-judgmental way. It's not about, oh, why do you always like to hold your phone? You're so distracted now. Because something else, and I saw this quote somewhere. It said like, when the rewards that our children get from the rewards that our children's brain get from social media. So there's this constant stimulation, there's this instant feedback, dopamine hits, all that kind of stuff. And so when you tell them things like, oh, you should not be on your phone, you should not be on that, your child is not even hearing you. It's going in one ear and coming out of the other ear. And this stuff that I read one day, it said it's almost as if you're telling your child to walk barefoot on a mountain. That's how it feels to them. And so that's why I said at the beginning that your connection with them, your influence on them, your relationship with them is what is going to help them more in really understanding your concerns as you guys navigate this digital world together. We're doing it together. It's not about, no, you don't be on the phone, then I can be on the phone. No, that's not a template you want to show them. You want to show them that you are both in this together, that you are all in this together. And because we are all in this together. If we think that because we are adults, then we can just spend hours on the phone, but yet still keep telling them off for spending hours on the phone, it doesn't make sense. It will not make sense to them. And for me, I want to be very authentic with my children. I aim to be very authentic with my children so that when I say something, they can see me that I'm doing it. They can see that I am modeling what I'm talking about. That's how your influence gets stronger. That's how they can hear you, because they can see you do what you're telling them. So that's really, really key. So that's kind of the things that I wanted to share. Just we have to make it a we conversation, not just a you conversation. It's very important. We have to manage our distractions. We have to watch our screen time. We have to stay focused on the future that we're building. Another point that I did as my kids were growing up. Normally we talk about the future, what they want to do, what impact they want to make. We do a lot of that talk. So a lot of the times when I'm correcting them or sharing with them concepts like this, I start with their identity. And all my children, since they were young, I've always called them leaders. I've always said, you're going to be a great leader. You are a leader in the making. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Not specifically what they're going to do, but in that identity, they all knew themselves as leaders. So when I'm talking to them about something, I'm sharing that, this stuff could be distracting you from the leader you're going to be. These things are what's going to help you be the leader that I see you to be. That's what and I still do that up to now. I still do that all the time. So speaking to them from their identity, not just correcting them about social media or demonizing social media. No, is what they can do better. What can they do? How can they manage their time better with the bright future that you see in their lives? And when you speak to children from an identity point of view, they seem to go along because they also want that great identity. They also want that great future that you see in them. So you've got to keep on reminding them of the great future ahead of them as you correct them with the little distractions that they may have along the way. And these distractions, they're not only our children that have these distractions. We as adults, we have those distractions too. So sharing your own struggles, sharing, be speaking from their identity and speaking into their future. These are the things that help us to navigate social media and the internet and the influence that the internet has over our children's minds. It's really, really important. So don't approach social media from a place of punishment. No, approach it from a place of identity and purpose. That's what's going to really help. That's what's really going to help you a lot. Okay. So what can you start doing today? From what I've shared so far, start bringing the conversation about social media to their future, not to their faults. Okay. Start to do that. The other one is use the collaborative language, like what I did, saying we need to work on this together. Oh my word. Use yourself. Be an example. So that's another key. Be an example. And then that's what I talked about in the beginning, where you set those boundaries through connection. It's through your relationship. It's through your connection. It's not through control. It's not through being the boss and all that. It's going to make it work. Because for me, I believe whenever I'm trying to correct my children, I'm thinking of transformation more than an obedient to the rule immediately. It's not an immediate thing. I want them to start reflective thinking. I want them to think more. What's mom trying to say here? That's what I want them to do. And so that's why my approach to them in talking to them must be calm. It must be calm. It must be non-judgmental. I cannot be shouting. I dare not shout, because if I'm shouting, I've lost the whole thing I'm trying to gain. Because my goal is for them to think for themselves. That's my goal. I want them to be so good at critical thinking. I want them to be so good at self-reflecting. That's usually my goal when I'm talking to my kids. And so that's what I will encourage us to learn how to do more of as we journey through this digital world with our children. It's so vital, so important, so important. And I think when we do that, and I know when we do that, we will help our children navigate this world, this digital world, this new world that all of us are facing together. So, final words. You're not alone in this journey. You're not failing. You're not the only parent overwhelmed by all this screen time, gaming, and social media. Please don't judge yourself. Please don't blame yourself. We've got to start from a better point of view. We've got to start from a better point of view. So that's what I will share with us today. Your voice still matters. Your influence is still powerful. Your relationship with your children is still the strongest protective factor. You don't need to know everything about technology. I don't. Just be connected with them. So if this video has blessed you, please like it, subscribe to it, and share with all other parents who need this encouragement. And let me know in the comment section which of these biggest challenges you're facing today. You're not alone. I'm here to support you all the way. And remember, I am still rooting for you all the way. You take care. God bless. See you next week.